Hey friends, it's Betsy from A Flourishing Place, and in today's video I am so excited to talk with you about 4 items that I have found are must-haves for an organized holiday season. If we haven't met before, my name is Betsy. I have a wonderful husband and 2 small kids and a 3rd one on the way. My husband and I have really found these 4 items are really a must-have for us to feel like we are on the same page through the holidays and that we're staying relatively organized.
Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here.
It can be a crazy time regardless, but these things have really helped. So let's jump right into it. Number 1 is the gift spreadsheet. And I would call it kind of the gift/budget spreadsheet. So basically what we do, really simple, we just write down in a list all of the people that we are responsible to buy gifts for. And that goes from, our parents to each other, to our kids, all the way down to things like our neighbors or teacher gifts, things of that nature. Everything we just dump onto one sheet so that we can make sure that we're not missing anybody. And then in the next column, we put what we're planning to buy that person.
Really nice.
And then in the next column over, we're writing down what our budget is for that person. So how much are we planning to spend for that person? I can't tell you how helpful this is, because how many times has it been where your spouse is like, I thought we were spending $25 for that person. And you're like, I thought we were spending $50 for that person. It eliminates all of that. It's all on one sheet and you can tell what the budget is. So basically the grand total of what you're planning to spend for Christmas so that there's no surprises. The next column over from the budget of what we're planning to spend is what we actually spent. And then that's it. That's the spreadsheet. Now, this spreadsheet can be adapted in a lot of different ways, because obviously gifts is not the only thing that we're spending money on during the holidays, right? There's so many other things, or there can be. And so you can add to this spreadsheet. You can do, if you're hosting parties, or if you're even just Christmas baking, that can take a chunk out of the grocery budget when you're doing Christmas baking, or any out of the ordinary type of expenses. If you list all of that up front at the beginning of the season and you say what you need, and then you're estimating what your budget is going to be, and then you're tracking what you actually spent, I cannot tell you, for me, the stress relief that it is, because you do feel like money is just falling through your fingers sometimes through the holidays, where you're spending money for gifts, or there's a special activity for your kids, or there's all these things happening and you can just feel kind of out of control. And so having a spreadsheet where this stuff is written down and in advance and you can make adjustments as needed, it eliminates so much stress. And I really feel like my husband and I have eliminated so many potential arguments or misunderstandings from having it all written down. We both know what's going on. We both know what's being spent. We both know what our expectations are for the holidays. And it has helped so much. We do the same spreadsheet. I just copy and paste it every year. It's the same spreadsheet over and over, because basically we're buying the same gifts for the same people. Or not the same gifts, whoops. Basically, we're buying the same for the same people every year. And we keep the spreadsheets from year to year to make sure we're not buying the same gift. Do a little bit of that simple work up front. And like I'm saying, it's not a complicated spreadsheet. It's really basic. If you do that work up front, then the holidays are so much more enjoyable and you come to the end of it feeling like you were in control.
Is your house on fire, Claw?
No, Bethany, those are Christmas lights.
Number 2, and this is the first time I'm going to try this year, but I really feel like we're coming to a point where we need it, and that is an event list.
I'm busy, Mama. It's almost Christmas.
Through the month of December, just listing out what events you have. And then, so again, you can do a spreadsheet if you want, or you can do it on a legal pad, whatever is going to be easiest for you. So list the date, the event that's happening, and then list where it's happening, if it's happening at your home or somewhere else, and then list everything that's needed for that event. Basic, does not take much time to do, but you can just stick it on the inside of a cupboard, stick it on your fridge, whatever, and you just have an at a glance idea of what is happening through the entire month and what you can be preparing for as you look ahead to the next week or the next couple weeks.
I'm in a store and I'm singing!
Recipe binder. Now, this is something that, again, you can do it digitally, and that's what I have done. Is I have a folder within my kind of larger recipes folder that is specifically for the holidays, or you can do a special 3-ring binder. I think it's really something that it's important to build, but it's also important that you keep it decluttered, if that makes sense. So you tried something one Christmas or one holiday season, and it didn't really turn out great. Make sure that the recipe binder only has recipes in it that you love, that you are going to use year after year. And that way it is a really useful tool where you can just go right to it and know that that is exactly what you're looking for. So having a recipe binder, I think, is super helpful.
Who sent you?
Papa Elf.
Lastly, and I mentioned this in a video that I previously did, and this one doesn't have as much to do with being organized, a little bit, as much as it does to do with keeping good track of memories from season to season. So I mentioned in my previous video something called a holiday journal. I have one that's specifically a holiday journal, but again, if you're on a budget, you don't need anything special. You can just use a regular notebook and fill it in, each year. But one of the most precious things that I have found with that holiday journal is putting our Christmas card photo in there every year. And so you can look back year to year, kind of how things have changed, how the kids have changed, and that's always fun to see. But then it also has spaces for you to write special events or memories that happened that year.
This tree is a symbol of the spirit of the Griswold family Christmas.
As your kids are growing, it's really fun because there's cute little things, funny little things that they do at Christmas time when they're little that you're going to forget, honestly. And even I'm saying this, my kids are 5 and 3, and already there's stuff that is foggy in my brain. And so having a little journal like that to keep track of special memories, to remember, say you went to your in-laws' house the previous year, you all got to do some really special thing together. You write that down so you don't forget. And it also helps you year to year when you're trying to plan for the coming year and you look back and go, what did we do last year? I don't remember what we did last year. And so you can look back and see kind of what things look like. And again, this is not a big thing of like keeping you organized and on track for the holidays, but it's something where the holidays can be a blur. They do kind of rush by. And so it is nice to be able to, as the dust settles at the end of the holiday season, be able to write down really quickly kind of summaries of what happened and then be able to look back on that in the coming years. I hope these 4 items were helpful for you. The biggest thing that is kind of the common thread through all 4 is that of consolidating. And so the purpose for my husband and I of these 4 things is to be able to keep track, to have good communication with each other, to keep good control of the budget, which can be hard during the holidays. And as we're filling out that journal at the end, just being able to look back and say, this was really great. And we're not going to let it just be a blur. We're going to remember some of the special things we did. And we're also going into the new year on a good note. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season wherever you are. If you are interested in kind of seeing a day in the life sort of video where I do a little bit of Christmas DIY and I talk a little bit more about that holiday journal, I will link that video right up here for you. And I will see you in the next one.